What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic month so far. Do you feel the energy shift in there, Sag? Because you'll understand in a second. Because for those of you who are returning, oh, welcome back, Soul Tribe. Just big energy. I'm happy to, I appreciate yours. I'm just happy to see you. And I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Sag. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why. Because it is Celestial News Monthly. It's like my favorite time of the month there, Sagittarius. I mean, how could it not be? I know you're pumped. I bet you're just freaking out right now. But with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Sag. Now I have oracle cards with each of the zodiac signs that the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Even this one, I finally got around to, it's sad. But also down in the description box are links for some other readers I like watching, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group, I think you'd enjoy them. But before we get into your oracle card here, let's talk about this little party that Libra's throwing. They're going pretty big here. Because you got the sun that's entering Libra, you got Mercury that's in Libra, and then we're having a new moon solar eclipse in their sign as well. So look at all this stuff here. Libra's kind of going all out here. But with let's talk about the sun first. Because the sun's going to enter Libra on the 23rd of September. That'll be about 2:50 in the morning. That'll be Eastern time. And then we'll be there through the 23rd of October. And with this energy here, Sagittarius, it's a great cycle for connecting with others. Since Libra deals with like one-on-one relationships, whether that be in love, in business, familial, friends, just a really great energy, just just a collaboration and really just I don't know, just building a deeper bond there. And also you'll be able to see all sides of a situation more clearly. You know, like Libra really weighs the options when they're making a decision. You know, they're very fair, very balanced when they're going about things. So definitely great energy for you there, Sag. But also, this is a great energy for appreciating beauty because Libra's ruled by Venus, which deals with arts, beauty, and you know Libra's all about aesthetics and yeah, they're Libra's a very artistic sign as well. But this is about appreciating beauty, whether you're creating that beauty there, Sagittarius, or maybe you're going to like an art festival. Maybe we're going to see a concert. Maybe got like a municipal band going on, a jazz club, or even just like appreciating just the natural beauty around you. Getting out in the forest, going by a babbling brook, or ooh, I don't know why that was specific there, Sag, but I'm with it. So just something to think about there. But also you have Mercury that's going to be entering Libra on the 4th of October and be there through the 22nd of October. And with this, diplomacy takes center stage, and this really creates more harmony in our relationships. So if you've noticed that there have been maybe a little dissonance between you and maybe some others, this is a great energy to kind of repair that stuff if we're able to, you know, really kind of see if we can come at it from a different perspective or come at it with, because, you know, Libra's a very charming energy as well. So you'll notice too that your speech and the way that you think is a little more elegant, a little more refined, more polished. But also, this is communication with others does come into focus. So this could be a great energy for networking as well, you know, or just even getting together with some friends and just having a good old time there, Sagittarius, or even hitting up that bestie. But also, last energy, we got this new moon solar eclipse that's going to be happening on the 14th of October. And with this energy, eclipses bring about change, Sagittarius. And this change in this eclipse is going to be focusing on, since Libra deals with relationships, this is going to ask us to examine the relationships in our lives. And if there are any situations that are unbalanced, either we need to put up some boundaries possibly, or we might need to keep it moving, move on and see, let the growth just kind of happen by themselves. And if it's meant to come back around again, the universe is lovely about bringing that stuff back together there, Sag. But then a nice little bonus for you there, depending on where your Sag placements are at. This is going to be forming a sextile with your sign. And sextiles are very fortunate energies. Right after the trines, they build about opportunities, very collaborative energies, but it's kind of passive. It's a little dynamic, something we got to put a little more initiative in than with like a trine energy that tends to just kind of clear things out of your way. This one is kind of just like potential. If we don't do anything with it, then it just sort of sits there, Sagittarius. $1 million lottery ticket, but never cash it in. There you are. So just something to work with. But let's get your first card here. Oh, and look at that. We're soaring amongst the clouds there because you got the 8th card of Leos, which is the hot air balloon. And with this card, this is a card of balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow, rise above, don't resist, new perspective, untouchable, defying gravity, continuous flow, ascension, view, elevate, and feeling good. An energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the uplifting. And if you've been, because Virgo season has been a been a tough one. With all the retro, we were very retrograde heavy, and considering the Venus just went direct not too long ago, but I feel like that with how rough things were, I feel like maybe during Libra season, this would be a great time for you to do some more uplifting things. Maybe again, going to that concert, or maybe going to, or maybe getting out in nature more, getting some fresh air. Maybe, I don't know, if you're feeling adventurous there, Sag, have you ever been to a hot air balloon? I mean, why not? I've not been. Would I go in one? Maybe if I had I might need to be bullied into that one. Moving on. But I do feel that if you've just been feeling kind of down, maybe spirits have been low, doing some uplifting things for yourself. And I don't feel that this necessarily has to be anything super big. Maybe this could be just like having just taking more time to kind of treat yourself. Maybe we're doing just like more self-care days, or, maybe we're kind of paying attention to even to like what you might be listening to on a regular basis, as far as like maybe if you've been watching a lot of news, and listen, I got nothing against the news, but, if you notice how that affects you, maybe kind of making more time to maybe do some like lighter reading, or listen to some like maybe lighter podcast, or just anything to kind of get some laughs, or go out on an adventure there, Sagittarius. You go on a journey, maybe go for a drive, go for a walk, but anything I feel like can just like kind of help you see life from a higher perspective, and kind of see that even in all of the challenges that are going down, because you do got a couple of tougher aspects that you're going to be facing here during this season, but I do feel that sometimes when we are kind of just been going through it for a while, we can kind of lose that, even for being as optimistic as a sign as you are. Sometimes we can get kind of lost in that, and it can maybe translate, because the thing with being Jupiter ruled is that where Jupiter, anything that he touches, there's an abundance of, we got to pay attention to what vibration that we're in, because otherwise there's going to be abundance of that there, especially if we're kind of operating from a lower vibration there. So just doing some things to kind of lift yourself up just in general, Sagittarius, but I feel like especially we've been kind of going through it, trying to do some nice things for yourself this season. But let's get some tarot on this. All right. Oop. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Sag. Interesting. All right, so you have the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and then the Eight of Cups here. And I feel like with the King of Pentacles being here, the King of Pentacles is a very, very stable figure. Maybe for some, we've been feeling that, I don't know, it feels like that just things, we haven't maybe been on solid ground as of late. And I feel like that there are certain, and I might need to get a little bit more on that to be kind of, because I feel feel like there's something a little more specific in here. But with the Eight of Cups, I feel like that maybe for some that like there are some things that maybe used to kind of uplift us in a sense, but I feel like it's like it's starting to like lose it's starting to lose that sheen, or started it's not quite doing it like it used to. Maybe we had a go-to sort of like maybe coping mechanism, and I'm kind of getting sort of like Seven of Cups vibes, maybe even some type of devil energy that's going through. Maybe we had some vices and things that we use to kind of help us just sort of like move it along and not necessarily reflect on why it is that we've been feeling kind of down. Because I do feel like yours is a sign that does want to it's kind of similar to Leo in a sense, because they're ruled by the sun. They're in the fifth house, all about feeling good and like that enthusiasm. But sometimes I feel like in order to chase that stability, we can indulge in some escapisms and things along those lines. And I feel like we just want to make sure that we're being mindful of that. But yeah, let me get a little bit more on this Eight of Cups here, Sag. Let me see what's going on there. And this, when I'm talking about escapism and things, can be more than just like your like devil energy. This could be more than just like your drug, sex, alcohol type of deal. This could be in video games and in people. This could be whatever that's looking like. Wherever we find ourselves doing more of, or just like indulging in. Like when it's become like an excess, and it's just sort of like we're just doing it just cause. But let me get a little bit more energy on that. Oh, all right. So see, that's what I was talking about. Because the Eight of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Cups, the Three of Cups, and then the Two of Cups. A lot of cups here. And have your cups been overflowing there, Sagittarius? Because the Three of Cups can also be a card of it's a card of celebration, but it's just like, have we taken the celebration to the extreme? You know what I mean? Are we chasing that stuff as opposed to maybe finding more sort of like maybe different avenues of kind of filling our cups and maybe getting to this state of like self-care and just sort of like because I feel like with the Seven of Cups as well, this is not just like, because for me, sometimes this could be like a prelude to a devil moment. But I feel like there are other ways for us to get to that state of optimism, to kind of raise our vibration, do some uplifting things. This could be maybe doing some meditation, or again, maybe picking up a craft even, or and this, when I'm talking craft, we could be doing art, we could be doing some woodwork, maybe like working on cars, picking up some hobbies even, or maybe even just like maybe sharing this like if we've been, because how that's interesting that it would come up in the relationships that we're talking about. And I feel like that's something to pay attention to as well, just even thinking with the Two of Cups. Are there people that we're kind of sharing experiences with this Two of Cups, Three of Cups here, that are lowering our vibration? And if so, we need to start thinking about that, how that's going to affect us long term in the future here. Because, the Knight of Swords is very future oriented. And he's going to be the type where, it may be some work to kind of, when we're growing from like maybe separating ourselves from these different groups and, kind of spending more time to do some different type of activities. It's kind of what I'm getting with this. Where it can be a challenge, but it will be worth it in the long run. You know what? Before we're gonna talk about because that's kind of stuff your rulers kind of talk about now that he's gone retrograde, and that's something too. More. All right, yeah. Let's leave that there, and then let's talk about your ruler. Well, first let's get some tea real quick. And then let's talk Taurus energy. Because you got Jupiter, your ruler, that's retrograde in Taurus, and then you got Uranus that's also retrograde there. And your ruler is going to be retrograde to pretty much the end of the year, the 30th of December. And with this energy, this is asking us, where we've been pouring our energies into so far, where have we been investing? Because Taurus deals with security, stability, like that, and even like your self-esteem and things. And have we been investing in stuff that are going to work for you long term, or have we been doing more kind of quick fixes and things? And it's like paying attention to the quality of life that you're living so far. And if we don't like that, Sagittarius, what do we need to let go or leave behind with this Eight of Cups in order to get this sense of harmony and balance and fulfillment and really kind of uplift yourself? So, you know, retrogrades are not meant to be this sort of like scary thing that, you know, it's just end up, you know, just like, you know, the world is ending. It's a time for slowing down and of a reflection and just really thinking about our actions. Because, you know, even for a minute there, I had a little moment. I was going through a transit, and something happened where I kind of got, it was just like real hot. I was just trying to force things along there and really kind of get things moving, and just like doing the quick stuff where it was just like, you're doing a lot. Let's slow down a little bit and just like, let's reevaluate. You know, does this really make sense what you're doing? And that's all retrogrades really are there for, and especially with your ruler being there. And then you also have Uranus that's retrograde until next year, January 27th of 2024. And with this is about like thinking about kind of new novel ideas for how we go about investing again in our security and stability and things like that. But not even just for ourselves, you know, like what ways that we can bring stuff for to uplift society as well. Because the King of Pentacles, he's a very generous figure. He's not just doing these things for himself. He wants others to bask in the abundance like he is. And so, you know, Uranus, you know, deals with freedom, and they rule over the sign of Aquarius, you know, sign of like networking and groups and friends and things. So we're in a very sort of like very interesting kind of collaborative energy there. But also you may notice that there might be changes in like finances in which, I mean, all this stuff is already pretty much it's starting to happen. But now we're really, I feel like over these next couple years, Uranus is really going to start doing some, yeah, it's gonna start really doing some deep work here. I haven't had a chance to really forecast yet with that, but it's, from what I have done, it is going to be an interesting couple of years, I feel like, for sure, just to think about in the short term. But let's go ahead and get an oracle on this. Interesting, Sag. All right. Thank you. So you got the fifth card of Virgos, which is the headache card. And see, this is what happens when we go out too much, Sagittarius. I'm kidding. But with this card, this is a card of poor health, dis-ease, illness, unpleasant, crisis, emergency, body signal, needing self-care, problem, root cause, annoying, disagreeable, something's off, pain, and underlying condition. And the energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the needing self-care. So I feel that, you know, over this Libra season, you know, do some things that really kind of raise your vibration through the roof. You know, maybe take it a little bit easier. Maybe we've been just kind of going at it for a while, been kind of like maybe forcing change, and, you know, or maybe you've been under a lot of stress over this last Virgo season, or whatever this is looking like. You know, make sure that we are paying attention to if the body is telling you to slow down and stop, because eventually what happens with that is that it can lead to tower moments where it's just like, you know, your foundation's getting rocky, and then it's just going to force you to kind of stop there for a second and kind of really evaluate where we're going. Like, I'm even kind of getting like a hanged man type of position, even like kind of like 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands type of stuff. It's like the energy's just building up and building up, and it's just going to, and it's not to get you to scare, and this is not health advice or anything along those lines, but, you know, it is, where I do get where we want to think about our stability and our security. You know, we have all these other things that we're focusing on. We can't achieve any of that if the body is not working like it needs to. It's not getting that love, that Two of Cups. This is very nurturing energy. This is Venus and Cancer, the Two of Cups here. And yeah, we just want to make sure that we're just letting go of, or just like, because I even feel like with this self-care, this could be even just like, again, moving on from things that are lowering your vibration, you know, whatever that's looking like. But let me get some tarot on this, get some details. And that's kind of interesting too. Yeah, we're going to talk about Virgo next. Because I feel like with fire energy, it does have this way of being able to push, but I feel like just because you can push yourself maybe to a limit more than if like maybe more than others if you don't have a lot of fire placements in their sign. Because listen, I got tower moments, you know what I'm talking about. But just because you have that capacity to do that, that doesn't always mean that that's the healthy way. Because that's what I was doing for like a hot second. I was just kind of tapping in all that Leo and really kind of pushing to myself. It's just like, all right, wait a minute, let's reevaluate and figure out what we're doing. But oh yeah, we're definitely talking about Virgo next, because Mars is just about to enter Virgo here soon. Or not Virgo. I'm tripping. Hold on. Now we're going to talk about Scorpio energy next. We're just moving things around here. Thank you. And then let me go ahead and get that switch now. Alright. Tower and Hanged Man. Come on there, Sagittarius. So you got the Tower, the Hanged Man, the High Priestess, the Five of Swords, and then the Nine of Pentacles here. And let's talk about these two, since I literally just mentioned them. So this is what happens when we don't self-care. There are circumstances that either force us to make these changes here when the foundation when we're operating hasn't been working this way, and then and listen, it's not to scare you or anything. It's just to get you to see where we may be sacrificing maybe kind of sacrificing more of ourselves more than we need to, and get you to see things from a different perspective there. And if we don't pay attention to those signals, listen to your intuition, those signs, then we miss out on that stuff. And I feel like this is something we're going to need to, maybe for some, it's like we're going to need to work on getting into that habit, and that's interesting too. Honestly, now I'm conflicted. Okay, well, we're just going to keep this stuff in order here. But, because this Nine of Pentacles, this is Venus in Virgo. And Venus is about to enter Virgo here soon. And that's going to form some trickiness with your placements. But I do feel like with the Nine of Pentacles, there is a need to kind of work on you. Because maybe for some we've been... I don't know, it feels like with the Five of Swords, it's like maybe we've been kind of like needing to kind of cater to others and to... It's like for some, it's like maybe others have been dictating what we need to do, possibly. I'm not sure if this is something that has to deal with work. Maybe we have like a King of Pentacles here that's maybe in a lower vibration that's been I don't know, it's like maybe work has been like a little more stressful than normal, and we're not getting as much time as we need to. Maybe the schedules have been overloaded, or maybe we have I don't know, it's like maybe not necessarily like demanding, maybe. Or it's like maybe we have either like friends or family members that are like demanding a lot of our time, and it's just like maybe it's just like we're kind of operating from this state of guilt, possibly, I'm even getting for some. But I do feel like that we need to take a moment and consider you. Is this really how you want to spend your energy? Mars, the Tower. And because I'm even kind of feeling too that because of how this is going down, there's not been that when we do have time to invest in ourselves, it's this energy of like just kind of checking out maybe for a little bit, because the Hanged Man, this is Neptune energy, and Neptune can deal with that energy of escapism and things like that. And again, however we do it, but it just feels like that. Again, the Tower again brings about this change. It's like it's like our foundation is kind of crumbling in a sense. It's just like things are starting to just like build and build and build and build, and I feel like we want to be careful with that, because again, a shift can happen here, Sagittarius, that might put you in a tricky situation. So Very fascinating. And even just thinking with the High Priestess too. Let's put her on top here. Consider your feelings there, Sagittarius, because the High Priestess is the moon, and I feel like that maybe for some it's like we can maybe kind of keep these things kind of bottled up, maybe put on a face, but it's all right to take a moment and not be like, no, I can't be bothered with this, just something to think about there. Let's get some tea and let's talk about Mars, since Mars want to talk so bad. Because Mars is going to enter Scorpio on the 11th of October, and then we'll be there through the 24th of November. And with this, there's a greater ability to persevere and to work through difficult challenges. And again, even though there is that energy with Mars, it's kind of allowing us to kind of push a little bit more. I feel like, especially since we're talking about that, needing to kind of do some more uplifting things, needing the self-care, I feel like it's like pushing within reason there, Sagittarius. So, and this also is a great energy for doing some self-examination and seeing if how we've been operating thus far has been conducive to our growth and to our health as well. It's because Scorpio deals with that, because maybe for some, again, I feel like with the Knight of Swords, maybe we've been just sort of like breezing past this stuff, kind of again ignoring our High Priestess sense that's letting us know, like, yo, Sag, let's slow down, let's stop for a second. And because I feel like you too, being Jupiter ruled, you are a very generous sign, and I feel like you're very giving as well, and you want to be careful with that. But also, you want to be mindful of aggression as well, because Mars rules is along with Aries, Mars rules over Scorpio, and so now with Mars being at home, there might be this energy of aggression, and if we're ignoring our these signals and things and needing for self-care, all that heat could come channeling out in a different kind of way. We keep stuff bottled up for so long, it becomes this pressure cooker before us, tower. So just something to be mindful of there. But let's get some tarot, or get an oracle on this, get some details. Okay. Hold on, Sag, let me grab your card here. Okay. So what's going on here? Oh, all right, one of your cards here, Sag. All right, so you got the fourth card of You, which is the Gavel card. And with this card, this is a card of conviction, decisions made, pay attention, offer accepted, legal matters, court order, fair, finished, being judged, bring order, situation, important decisions, and an assertion. And the energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the being judged. And I'm wondering if for some, it's just like maybe... It almost feels like for some, like with this, like, since you got the Five of Swords here, I'm wondering if we're feeling like that we are being judged by others possibly. Maybe there's this energy of, you needing to... And it's not that I feel like necessarily that you're bothered by it, like in a sense, but it's just like it's something that you are considering. It's just like maybe people are making these observations, just like, oh, Sagittarius, you seem to be, you're, how come you're not your normal enthusiastic self, or how come you're not, why aren't you able to bring this, or again, maybe there's this like, I'm getting like some sort of authoritative figure with the King of Pentacles. He's been popping up quite a bit. And I'm wondering if it's like for some, if there's, if like we feel like, I don't know, it's like we're either being judged by our bosses, or like our actions are just like kind of like under this microscope. It almost feels like. And if this is not necessarily people, then maybe this is something where it's like we're being judged by ourselves there, Sagittarius. Maybe you've been kind of overly critical, and because I'm kind of getting like a Seven of Wands vibes here, where it's like we're just, I don't know, it's like we're used to just being able to, again, to kind of push and just being able to kind of go, but now we're starting to notice that the energy is waning a little bit, and it's just like we're not our normal selves, and it's just like, again, we're trying to force that thing to happen and really kind of push and push. And let me get some tarot on this, Sag, and get some details. Let's see what's going on here, Sagittarius. Alright, so you have the Queen of Cups, the Moon, and the Emperor here. And you know, because here's Aries. We were just talking about them being, one of the signs that Mars rules here. And it feels that there is this sort of, again, for some, I'm feeling that there's this aggressive energy that's kind of coming through here. And I'm not sure if this is more so you, just because when I think about Aries, they're associated with the first house, which deals with the self. And I feel that with the moon being here, there's just like, there's this kind of darker side of ourselves maybe that we're not willing to face, that's like we're trying to ignore, that possibly there's something wrong here, or something like that's I feel that is needing some Queen of Cups, that's needing some self-care, some nurturing type of energy here. It's just like, where if this is more so you, it feels that it feels that there's this harshness that's kind of coming through here, and I'm not sure where that's stemming from. And I feel like that might be warranted for some to figure out what the source of that is, if that's something that's resonating with you. But I'm also kind of feeling with this that, because the moon is a Pisces energy, and with Pisces, they're very giving, very compassionate. They're a sign that'll give their all for the people that they care about, and even for those they don't know. Like Pisces does have a universal love that they do, like a really profound compassion. But I feel like for some, it's like when we're not able to deliver like we want to, that it's like we're being judged by others. It's just like that. Well, Sagittarius, you normally do it to this standpoint. So, and I feel like it's going to be kind of a reevaluation of how this month, of maybe of how we're giving our energies, depending if this is people that we're surrounded with, or it's like the relationships, I do feel like are going to be a big standpoint as far as either with others and probably with yourself as well there, Sagittarius. And this with the moon, this can be kind of hard to face there, but after the moon is the sun. It's like when we do, then this clarity comes in with the sun, and then we see where, again, we've been sacrificing, where things have been, where the foundation has become a little off balance there. But and that's interesting, because I'm even kind of getting with the Queen of Cups, like even paying attention to as far as like with others, because this may not come across as aggressive as you think. Maybe for some there are these people that might be kind of taking advantage of your energies, but it's like we're pulling on our heartstrings, or maybe coming from a guilt standpoint, or it's and that's interesting. I've not felt that with the Queen of Cups. It feels manipulative. So we want to be kind of mindful of that. I'm not, because even the moon can be like a card of deception and things. So just pay attention to that, Sagittarius. All right. Now let's talk about Venus, the Empress. Because Venus is going, I know it's a lot. Venus is going to be entering Virgo, because she's been chilling in Leo for a minute. She's going to be entering Virgo on the 8th of October and will be there through the 8th of November. And with this, the Empress is going to work. And I feel like for you though, it's gonna be going to work as far as like self care goes, because Empress is definitely one of my self care cards. But this is also great for figuring out what is working in our relationship and what isn't, and really reevaluating some of this stuff here. I feel like it's even this thing how we're talking about that being judged. I feel like that you're gonna be judging as far as just like what's been going down so far, and then that's interesting that that's happening in Virgo, but also, this can be a great energy for you too, Sagittarius, to kind of focus on like kind of practical matters, whether this is like because Venus also deals with finances. So maybe this could be something where we're kind of getting our finances in order, maybe thinking about where we've been investing things, or finding maybe alternative streams of income to kind of help support you along there, so that maybe if we are kind of stuck in some sort of like weird job thing or something, we can, and again, I wouldn't tell you to quit your job, but that maybe we can think about even moving on, or maybe even like reducing hours, or just so that we're not in this state of stress in things. Jupiter and Taurus. So just something to be mindful of there. But also, depending on where your placements, Sag placements are at, this is going to be forming a square with your sign. And squares are tough. They can bring about challenges and delays and things along those lines. Kind of tower energy. But the thing with the squares, though, is that they sometimes when we because I feel like when it comes to tower moments, our guides, however you connect with the source, like to keep tower moments more internal. When we notice that there's like a voice or something that's not, or something that's needing to change, it's like I feel like our guides want us to take action, but sometimes it's like maybe we can fear the change, or not sure if we can rise up with the Emperor here. And so it kind of puts us in like difficult situations and challenges, and life waxes and wanes anyway. But it's like when we work with that square energy, then it's not to say that you're not going to get your abundance, but you just got to work a little bit harder. But then when we do and get on the other side of that, there's this sense of relief that it's just like, look at what I accomplished, look what I was able to overcome. And it just makes it really just raises your vibration through the roof there, Sagittarius. But let's go ahead and get an oracle on this. Thank you. Look at you, efficient, just like the Empress. I like that. Oh, all right. Oh, now funny. This is one of the signs that she rules, because you got the sixth card of Libras, which is a repairman card. And with this card, this is a card of repair, fine tune, heal, fix, many working parts, reset, proceed carefully, needs fixing, make adjustments, recover, skilled, make things right, mend, restore, and upgrade it. So the energy that's coming through here pretty strongly here is the heal, Sagittarius, but even a little bit less though, the make adjustments is coming through here as well. And I do feel like for some that this is going to be a season for you of healing. Like again, we were talking about self-care. We're doing more uplifting things. We're kind of noticing people who might be judging us, or noticing how we're judging ourselves, how we can even switch up our mentalities a little bit, kind of get in that more sort of positive mindset, get that energy uplifted, and not in like and I feel like in not like a forced kind of way, in a more sort of genuine sort of we're making tweaks, I feel, and like in like really kind of carving out again more time for you, and just like because I'm even kind of getting for some there is even just like a need for like a maybe like a change in like environment, and if we can't do like, and this may not necessarily be like a move, like a permanent move per se, but maybe even something just as like going on like a vacation, whether this like anywhere as you can get away, and just kind of find yourself again. I'm even kind of like, even like how the high priestess is kind of looking. It's like she's the type that really sort of values her privacy and her rituals, and and she's a very cyclical energy. She's like, she rules over over Cancer, and she's associated with the fourth house, which is like about our home, our foundation, and that emotional type of security. And that's what I feel like is being healed here, and it's gonna be. And I feel like it's when we're doing this stuff here, Sagittarius, especially if we're like maybe taking a vacation or just finding some time to relax and stuff. It's doing that like guilt-free type of healing as well. You know, where we're putting like, yes, you got your obligations and stuff, but they'll be there when you get back to face them. Right now, you're your main obligation, because those things can't get accomplished if the Emperor is not if the Emperor don't got the energy for it. And it's hard being in that, just that always again having to be on all the time, even though you got it like that with Mars and the, I feel like Mars and the Emperor being here, it's like you got that energy. And I even like that too, how you got the Hanged Man in Pisces, because again, the hanged Neptune is a ruler of one of the rulers of Pisces. And yeah, it's just, I feel like it's like just sort of like syncing back up with your higher self, or getting with your guides, your spirits, your angels, however that's looking like, and just doing some just physical healing, some mental healing, some spiritual healing. Just really just get yourself just kind of blissed out there, Sag. But let's get some tarot on this. Hmm. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Scorpio showed up here too. Let's see what's going on. And so yeah, oh, hold on. Let's see what's. There's that Ten of Wands. So you have the Death card, the Three of Wands, and the Ten of Wands here, Sag. And that's what I feel like, if this healing doesn't happen, I feel like just like stuff is just going to keep kind of building up here, Sagittarius, and it's just going to, I don't know, it's just going to keep you in this restricted type of energy here, because the Ten of Wands, this is Saturn in Sagittarius, one of your cards. And yeah, I'm really, and that's interesting. I love that the Three of Wands would pop up here, because I'm thinking in like the Rider White deck, usually there's this figure that's kind of looking out into the, like, over to like the sea, and there's like these boats that are passing by, and there's one in like even like the oh, what is it, the Astro Matrix deck that I have. It scares like even like airplanes and things that are flying by. Excuse me. And I feel like there is just like a need for a change of scenery, that there's this, it's like a death of an old way of operating, and how we've just been really kind of going for these things. And it's just like, because I feel like it's just like we've taken on so much with the Ten of Wands, and it's just like, you know, the Ten of Wands is not meant to just stay. When we get into that state of like feeling like things are becoming a burden and things are really kind of weighing down on us, that is this indicator for what can we do to, that pressure is supposed to motivate us to act, not to just meant there and just kind of sit on that heat, you know, and not just to be, just feel trapped in things. And it's just like, what ways can we fix that, you know, what adjustments can we make, even if they're just like minor ones right now. Because I feel like maybe for some, you know, maybe over this next month you might want to make like these kind of bigger changes, but it just may not be in the works right now. You know, there might be just some things that, you know, this, you know, you're, it's like taking these little things in the 3D realm will kind of help kind of cook stuff up in like the more sort of like the higher realms. And it's, let me get a little bit more with this Three of Wands here, Sag. Love that. So the Three of Wands is clarified by the Five of Wands and then the Ten of Pentacles. And I feel like that there's this energy of needing to kind of start brainstorming as far as like how we can move on from this stuff. Really starting to get a game plan here. But I feel like that it's being careful about just like doing like quick fixes and things there, Sagittarius. I feel like again we need to be thinking more so kind of long game here, as far as like whatever these changes that we're getting ready to make with the Ten of Pentacles, because the Pentacles, where yes, Ten of Pentacles deals with like your legacy and things like that. That sort of like that future goals, but I feel like the Pentacles can also they deal with your health as well and your ability to manifest. And it's paying attention to how your actions and how you're dealing with conflicts right now affect your abundance in the long term here. And again, what things do we need to tweak? So all right. Yeah, very interesting there, Sag. Now let's talk about another potential little tougher energy here, because you got Pisces, and you got Saturn and Neptune that are both retrograde in Pisces, and Saturn's going to be retrograde until the 4th of November. And with this, Sagittarius, this is kind of asking you if you've been kind of focusing, or have you been trying to achieve your dreams up until this point, because Pisces is very imaginative energy, and they do have a way of I don't know, it's like it's very just big type of energy that they bring, as far as like where the energies that they're able to tap into when they're connected to source like that. But and I love that Eight of Cups, this is Saturn and Pisces. And so it's like, have we been following our dreams up until this point, or maybe we've been appeasing the dreams of others here, or been more so kind of catering to others. But Saturn's like, if we haven't been doing those things, it's just like, let's get on it. You got the tools to do it. You got the imagination. It's just like, now we need to start getting this energy in motion here. Start letting some things go that are getting in the way of that stuff. Surrounding ourselves with more people that are more kind of supportive, that are more uplifting, that are don't lower your vibration and get you to the sense of just like dis-ease and things all the time. And yeah, making that happen. But also, Pisces is very spiritual energy. They're practically psychic, but this is an energy for tapping into that more spiritual side, because you're a very spiritual sign as well, Sagittarius, being Jupiter ruled, because that's another aspect. I feel like the Jupiter, though, always paying attention to the luck and the abundance, in which you are very lucky and abundant and things like that. Jupiter also deals with that higher learning, that spirituality, that growth, that expansion. And so this is a great energy for you to connect with your intuition, connect with your guides, like do some meditation, do some, whatever that's looking like, whatever healing, maybe even getting into some sort of like, maybe going on like a spiritual retreat, even possibly there, Sagittarius. And, yeah, just getting a closer connection with source. And also, couple that with Neptune, that's going to be retrograde until the 6th of December. And with her being retrograde, this is a really powerful energy for us to access, like introspection and just sort of like self-improvement, and really getting connected again to those universal energies and man. But it's also an energy that you want to be mindful of areas of escapism, because we were talking about that earlier, and how things like that may be getting in the way of our growth as well there, Sag. And just like with Virgo, this is forming a square with your sign. So this is some tricky energy that you might be dealing with. But if you work with this stuff, take these challenges, take this time to self-care, get in touch with your guides, listen to that intuition, then it can lead to some really, really powerful growth there. But let's get an oracle on this. Oh, I love it. And look at that. And when we start working on that growth, we get the first card of Virgos, which is the Mother Lode. I like that. And look at you. Maybe we are going on some sort of travel here, Sagittarius. Let's start mapping this stuff out. But this is a card of prosperity, jackpot, success, good fortune, having plenty, moneymaker, sudden wealth, the real deal, on easy street, accomplishment, advantage, fortune, and the prime source. And the energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the good fortune. And I like that. Because I feel that, with how, because this has been a little, been a bit of a difficult reading here so far. A lot of but I mean only in the sense of like if we've just been kind of going through a lot. I feel like that you are again a very fortunate sign, but I feel like that it's time to just one pay attention to the energies that we're giving that abundance out to, but also making sure that there's that, I don't know, there's that reciprocity there in allowing that. I'm getting like this like receptivity of like being of giving and taking, and paying attention to how that flows work, like kind of Six of Pentacles vibes. And if there's not that balance, whether this is in a work situation that we're getting, or in like a friendship, a relationship, a family, even like a relationship, like in that aspect, or maybe even into, maybe we made this investment of like where our environment is. Maybe we thought that we would do well in like a city setting, for example, but it's like it's not quite what we thought it was. But we may be trying to again force something to fit, when it's like maybe we need to move to a suburb, or maybe move to a countryside, or whatever that's looking like. But I do feel like that there is abundance around, but I feel like it's like when we're not in that sort of uplifted state, when we're sort of like when we haven't taken that time to heal, it can be hard to see that and really appreciate the stuff that is around you there, Sagittarius. So, but let me get some tarot on this. And I'm even kind of getting two. Just because I feel like your sign is just naturally lucky, and abundant, that maybe for some of us we've been just kind of leaning into that a little bit and hoping that like things will just get worked out in the end. And where I do agree with that to an extent, there is this level of initiative that I feel that is coming into that. It's just like we just don't get abundance just cause. There's again, even with the universe, there's that give and take that's needed. And just something to think about there, Sagittarius. But let's see what's going on here. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. There you are, and there's Six of Pentacles. Come on, Sagittarius. So, love when the spirits do that. So you have the Six of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, the Page of Wands, the Devil, and then you, the Temperance card. Where are we starting? So with the Two of Swords here, I do feel like that there are, with the Two of Swords, there are just some decisions that we need to make. It's paying attention to areas that are not balanced. This is a big thing for you, and I feel in Libra season, and see how we've been because we were even talking about that prelude to a devil moment, and now the devil's here. And it's just like there's something I feel like that is getting in the way that we need to let go of. Maybe this is people, maybe this is vices, maybe this is ways of thinking, but whatever this is, the devil, this is Capricorn energy. It's going to take some work, and it's going to be hard, and it might take some time, but it's something where it's not impossible, Sagittarius. And, we got to get that flow back. Look at you, bending the energies of the universe, you waterbender. Check that out. But I do feel that, and that's interesting too, pay attention to where your vibrations are at, because you can only get that good fortune, again, if things are in balance, if you're in harmony here, because after your card, Temperance, is Capricorn, the devil. And then if we're not, then that leads to the Tower, where things need to change. So it's just like there's this sequence here that's happening. And it feels like with the Page of Wands, it's just like maybe we're not sure where to start from that. Maybe there's like maybe there's a lot that we need to kind of change up there, or that we're going to need to change. And listen, I feel like with the Page of Wands, it's just like, don't feel like that you have to take everything on all at once. Pick the thing that makes sense, that your intuition, High Priestess, is telling you to start at first, and then let the abundance, it'll start coming as you start taking those steps. But let me get a little bit more on the Page of Wands here. Okay, so the Page of Wands is going to be clarified, or is clarified by the Nine of Wands, or Nine of Swords. And with the Nine of Swords being here, this is, it's like there's these it feels like that Sagittarius, that if we've been just kind of dealing with a lot of anxieties, or we haven't even, because the Nine of Swords is like this nightmare that we've been living in. It's just like things have just been recurring over and over and over again. Even to the point where it's just like maybe for some it's like we can't even sleep at night, or we just can't find that sense of ease. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be really important to just really kind of make sure that you're in a place where your head is in the right place, where you're feeling balanced, feeling zen, feeling blessed, and just and feeling abundant and feeling forward, even in kind of these tougher situations, knowing that, because it's not going to last forever. It's the energies last as, it's like once we start taking these steps, the energies start to adjust, but it's like I feel like that it's just like careful about trying to being overcome by this stuff. I don't know. It's like the Nine of Swords is it's giving me a lot as far as like taking charge of like getting the sense of autonomy again. And I feel like it's like as we start making these changes, new opportunities for, because the pages, they're kind of like like indicators of like, of new opportunities come up, of new coming here. It's not just gonna be the same old cycle. Maybe even for some it's like we've been stuck in like this Groundhog Day type of energy. So let's keep you front and center here, so don't throw the devil over there. All right. Let's talk about this last energy here, Sagittarius, which is Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto's going to be retrograde until the 10th of October, and then will be in Capricorn until about around Aquarius season, about the 20th of January 2024. And this is very world-changing energy, Sagittarius, because both Pluto and Capricorn are very power-oriented and very success-driven. And I feel like for you, this really is kind of, through this healing and stuff, this is you gaining your power back, getting it back in your Emperor energy, kind of taking charge of this stuff here, not quite feeling just at the mercies of these challenges that are coming your way. It's because again, these situations are meant to help you, kind of push you in a way, not just keep you in Ten of Wands where you just feel like it's like this suffocating energy. But this also kind of forces us to face our feelings about power and corporations and governments, and because we are getting in, where this is, again, this has been a very powerful placement for Pluto. Now we're getting ready to get to this energy of the collective, of more kind of co-creation, of Aquarius, where we're thinking about friends and group and freedoms and the future and innovation. And maybe for some, it's like maybe if you've been in that sort of like authoritative energy there, now we're getting to where we might, again, maybe find ourselves the freedom as far as like getting our own type of jobs or doing some sort of side hustles to where we don't have to be there as much, or maybe starting your own companies, or maybe even with like if we're noticing things with the government that we don't care for, we're feeling this sort of oppressive energy, maybe we might take up some sort of advocacy or something along those lines. You're doing these peaceful protests, power to the people there, Sagittarius, I'm with it. But social order is transforming. There's going to be a lot of change, because I tell you, even in the readings, for this Libra season, there's been a lot of towers, there's been a lot of the death card, there's been a lot of judgment card that's been coming through. That's Pluto energy. And so I feel like there's a lot of energies for some action here, and for initiating this some growth there, Sag. But let's get your last oracle card here. Oh, thanks, spirits, I'm with it. And it was just storming over here. I was thinking about that earlier. How funny that card would came up, because you got the fifth card of Scorpios, which is the thunderstorm card. And with this card, this is a card of power, destruction, trouble, electric display, a warning, out of control, energy shift, conflict, triumph over evil, fierce, booming, conflict. Oh, conflict's on here twice. And opportunity to overcome. And the energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is an energy shift. And that's what kind of feels like that this Libra season is about to be for you. There is this energy shift. More so, but it's like, again, just more so energies of like taking care of yourself. I don't feel like it's necessarily anything super drastic, but it'll lead to some powerful changes down the line here. And it's just like, I feel like just taking these initiatives to do some healing, do some more uplifting selves for yourself, taking more time to rest, being in an abundant mindset even, and yeah, it's just, I feel like the way that you're going to be, like, I'm not sure. It's just like the way that, because even just like beyond your reading, it feels like the energy it is trying to shift in a way. We're trying to get to this different sense of harmony, a sense of balance, sense of temperance. And that is interesting too. Really kind of, I feel like, be mindful of temperance there, moderation there. How this, because it's interesting that it would come up with the devil, which can be things that we feel like have power over us, and see, the devil isn't energies that take away from us. The devil is like, it's the power that we give to it, and make it that, like when you're in the dark and you kind of see like this, like when like like the shadow of like, I'm thinking of the devil in this other card in on this other channel that I have, there's this mouse and there's this flashlight that's shining on it, and its shadow is some kind of monstrous figure, and that's the power that we can give to those types of vices and fears and things that we can't, that we feel like we can't overcome there. But let's get your last tarot cards on this. And like we were talking about with Pluto, you're facing these, facing the things that we, facing what power looks like for you, and where we've been giving our power to. All right, last little bit here. Oh, I love, Seven of Wands coming through. I'm with it. And we're going to keep it moving, because you have and I like that, you got their ruler here too. So you have the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and then the Chariot here, Sagittarius. Let's switch back over, because I do feel like with the Chariot, there's going to be some shadow work that we need to get doing. There's, and the thing too, Sagittarius, I feel like it is remembering that there is, in order to keep that Chariot moving, there are these like, usually there are these like dark and these light and this light figure that's pulling the chariot, and that's the light side of us and the darker side of us, and they both need to work together in order for this chariot to get moving. If we focus too much on the light, then we're ignoring the growth that needs to be done, and it gets one-sided there. Then we kind of get like where we're coasting a little bit and there's no kind of growth. But then if we get caught up in the dark side, not seeing that there's going to get to the end of the tunnel, then we get stuck. It's like they both achieve the same things on the negative end, on the negative end and on the positive end. But it's gonna be, I feel like with the Four of Pentacles, it's like you are gonna get this sense of stability back, but it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to get eyes on where we're being restricted at, whether this, and I feel like it's that being judgment I was talking about with that Seven of Wands, when I was talking about that energy earlier, just like how we might be criticizing ourselves, or how we might let the criticisms of others kind of hold us down there and prevent this chariot from moving forward. And that's even interesting too there, Sagittarius. I'm just now thinking about that. You had all the water signs here: Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And when that type of stuff happens, I feel that there is, because water energy is about that intuition. There's this healing energy that comes with water, and maybe for some there's a need to maybe get by some water possibly, but really listen to that intuition, and listen to your emotions and what they're telling you. And yeah, very interesting there, Sagittarius, like that. I think I'm going to leave that there. So really, a lot to think about over this next cycle here. But if you like that, Sag, give it a thumbs up and share this, because I do feel like that we could all use a little self care. I feel like after Virgo season, that was a little tough there. I feel like a lot of things were brought to light, and I feel like that the energies are changing. The water is flowing in a different way. We're tuning in a different way, because water energy, where all the signs are intuitive, excuse me, but water is just like, water energy is just more naturally kind of like, it comes a little bit easier than I feel with the other elements. And I feel like fire is right behind it, because fire, in order to have that inspiration, that creative mind, it's unreal, Sagittarius. So just share this. And did I already say share this? Well, share it again if you haven't already shared it, and then subscribe, you emperor. All you emperors, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified on all these videos each week. And then look at you getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel there, Sagittarius. Not that you need them. And you got our ruler there. My sun signs in Cancer. And if you have any Cancer in your placement, that's a Cancer exclusive channel. And if you got any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, anywhere in your chart, just come on. Or you just want to come over anyway, because, little sidebar, your ruler Jupiter is exalted in our sign. So after you and Pisces, Jupiter likes kicking it with our sign too, and that's pretty dope to have. So just come on over there, Sagittarius. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We absolutely discuss all the lunar shenanigans, even when they're Pisces. And now I'm actually about to do Pisces next. I'm going to have to give them some flack. I just low-key enjoy doing that. Maybe high-key. But all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Sagittarius. And that's interesting, because you got the Five of Cups here. And I almost feel like with the Five of Cups, it's like maybe for some, and that's kind of deep, I feel like maybe we've been, that we may have, even for some, like, not necessarily like, for some it's like maybe we've let ourselves down as far as like how we've been maybe overcome by this thing, or how a situation has gotten this way. But even in a deeper sense, even which I mean, that's really deep in itself, but it almost feels like that for some, it feels like that maybe the universe has even let you down in a sense, that And I feel like, that's never the case. Higher self always got your back, even when we don't feel like your spirits are always there with you, rooting you on and trying to give us signals and things to guide us through this stuff. And it's interesting how you're syncing up with the energies too, because the Five of Cups. This is Mars and Scorpio. And you got Mars and Scorpio that popped up here. So you got a lot of energies that really kind of sync up here, Sagittarius. So know that you are divinely guided. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Get you thinking about how fortunate you are. Thank you. Huh. I love that. Huh. I do like that. Because you're going to overcome this stuff there, Sagittarius. Because they got the 15th card. The Devil Energy's 15th card. So, but you got a message in a bottle. And I feel like that's the part of that message is that you will overcome this, that you will accomplish, because Capricorn energy, they are the achievers of the Zodiac. They are, and I feel like that's what the universe is letting you know, that you will overcome this thing. If we've been in this kind of tougher energy, if we've been feeling kind of let down, or things haven't been moving, or I feel like that's a good sign there, Sagittarius. But I feel like it's one of those things that we're gonna need to really listen to those signals, because we could be getting messages all around, but if we're not tuning into our bodies, or listening to our intuition, or then it's just like it's the bottle will be there, but it's just gonna kind of sit there, and it's just gonna kind of bob and flow until it might not be bombing us high, but as soon as we start kind of working on this stuff, it's just like, oh, here we go. So I like that, Sag. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there. With this, especially you making sure to just take care of yourself there, Sagittarius. First and foremost, because this is a lot. I feel like that we may be processing here over this next during Libra season, and it's a lot to take on. Try not to take on too much too fast. Just temperance as it makes sense. Do it in moderation, and that'll get that chariot moving along. That'll get us facing our fears with the moon card and death card transforming. And you raise your vibration through the roof. Because I feel like, this is this was an interesting reading there. So, but I do. I feel like there's a lot of messages in here for you to work with, and you got a lot of you got some strong energy on your side there. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.